Alright, we're back in the attic. I put another rod on the other mark. And these can lights have a 6-inch diameter. So to get a circle, 6-inch diameter circle, and I don't have a compass or whatever, so I made a little thingy. It's just a rope with a marker tied on it. It's got a loop on one end. So from the center of this marker to the end of this loop is just over 3 inches. I'm going to slide the loop over that rod, and then I'm going to use this as a compass. And I'll just go around, all the way around, trying to keep this as parallel as I can. And that's how I get my circle. And I'll use this on all of these. It's nothing fancy, but it works. So there's the circle. And it does not have to be perfect, because this will have a trim ring. So this will be what we're looking at from the bottom. So this will flip over. This will go in that hole, and then there'll be a trim ring that covers the gap. So you can be off a little. You don't want a huge gap, but it doesn't have to be perfect. So now that I got my circle, I'm going to pull this and put that aside. And I'm going to cut that out with a jigsaw. It's probably going to make a mess downstairs, but I'll just clean it up. So to get the jigsaw started, I'm going to drill a hole. I'm going slow so I don't just push through the sheetrock and tear a big hunk of it out. I'm kind of let the drill, not much pressure, do the work. I don't want to just, when it gets through the wood, it's just going to jam right through the sheetrock and bust a big hole out in the bottom. Getting close, so. just go through the woods and will be real easy. So we're all the way through. From this point, the rest of it will be jigsaw. There's a 10 tooth per inch wood blade. And the old Ryobi jigsaw. Gotta grab a cord. I'll just follow this line. Cut the hole out. Probably should wear a dust mask, which I may go get, so stand by just a second. Alright, so just follow the line, cut this out. Move you back. Almost there, we're about 3/4 of the way probably. there it is. Now, clear out some of this. Some of this had some blown in insulation in it. It's only about half the living room part. That's what some of that crap is blowing around. But it's pretty simple. It fits right in the hole. One thing I didn't bring was a hammer. But let's see if I can get you up here to see how this kind of works. So it's in the hole. Just extend these out. Sorry, but so there it is. I'll nail these in on all four corners. This can light will be installed. I'll move over to that one, do the same thing. I'll use that little tool, I'll call it, to make the circle. Drill a hole, cut it out, drop it in, and then I'm going to do 6, so got 1 down, 5 to go. Plus, I'll show you how to do the wiring. This wiring's real simple. It's got some connectors that are really easy to do, so we'll go through that too. Right now we're going to go downstairs and see how this looks from below. Alright, so there's the ceiling fan. There's the first marker that I put up. I did one over here. Let's see the mess. My wife would kill me, it's all over the couch. There's the piece we cut out, sheetrock, and the wood. And there's the hole. So this is what it'll look like from below. And it'll have a trim ring that goes around this, which will cover that and make it look all nice. You can see there's a small gap all the way around. That trim ring will fix that. Cricket. So I've got this one, and 1, 2, 3, 4 more to go. And once I get them done, I'll show you the wiring part. All right, I got all of them in. You can see, hope they're straight. These here, so there's a joist like right here. So these lights have a little bit of a housing around them, so I couldn't get it right up against it in line with this ceiling fan. So I had to move them over about 2.5 inches to get them to clear. But these ceiling fans are going away, so I can keep them straight this way. It's just I had to move them that way about 2.5 inches, which I'm going to have these 4 on this side work off this switch, and the 2 over here is going to work on this switch. So when you come in the door, you flip the switch, you have 4 over here, the living area, and this is kind of a used to be a dining room, but now it's kind of just a, I don't know what you call it, but these 2 will work on a switch. Those 4 will work on a switch. I'm gonna go back in the attic. I'm gonna cut the power first. Go in the attic and start wiring these up. All right, I'm back in the attic. This is the ceiling fan. Well, this is the support. The box is screwed to that. The ceiling fan is bolted to this box. I've cut the power. Now I've got to figure out where this power comes from, and what has to happen is, so wherever the power comes from, so the switch is over there, wires go down and there's a switch on the wall. So these 2 wires here, right here, they come from that switch and go in. This is old wiring. It's done a little different than modern day, so I've got to figure out how the heck it's wired up. And once I figure it out, what has to happen is power's supposed to go to the switch, then out of the switch to the light. From that light, it'll jump over to the other light, and that'll be the end of it. As you can see, there's a lot more wires than that going on. So I'm going to have to trace these down and figure out what's what. I'm pretty sure these 2 are to the switch, because they go over, and because the switch is over there downstairs or in the living room. So those go down to the switch. So one of those is carrying power to this light. All the switch does is break the circuit. So there's electricity running through these wires, going out, then back to this light. But then also they got something wired in here, and then something wired in here. So I'll trace all these down and see where they go. Put a little light on the subject. So here's one of the wires, and it goes into the other ceiling fan. But they're on separate switches. And there we got 2 wires this side, 2 wires this side. So this is going to be an ordeal figure this out. I think these two go to the switch. These two, one of them's just goes to nowhere, literally nowhere. It's just cut. And this one goes I'm assuming let's see if I can that wire is this wire. This is one reason I need to rewire everything in the old part of the house, which is this section. And I might just start